Hey everybody, Scout Crafty here again, midweek Wednesday. We got a great show planned for you today. We have a couple road trips, which everybody loves. First of all, on Monday, last episode, we talked about my little trip to the New York State Pavilion. A lot of you wanted to see what that looks like now. So when the park closed, I went and checked it out. It's a little bit scary going to any New York City park at night, and this one's no exception. However, I used to work for the Parks Department, so I know my way around it. But let's check out the New York State Pavilion because they are doing it. They are currently restoring it. It was supposed to be done by now, but COVID hit and everything got slowed up. But they're knee deep into a heavy restoration of this area. Let's check it out at night, Flushing Meadow Park, see what's going on right now. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little spooky at night there. There's been many people that went into that park at night have never shown up again, disappeared. So, but you could see they're doing that construction. What's interesting is they have $56 million raised to fund that restoration that they're calling it. But it's not really a restoration. They're just going to patch it up and get it, so it's not falling down. And it makes me wonder, when they built that in 1964, the New York State Pavilion, it cost $10 million back then. And most of that was spent on getting the foundation. They had to drive a lot of piles because it was built on an old dump. And so there was a lot of foundation work before they did the top. And even though equivalency today, that would be about $100 million, I can't believe $56 million, they're just going to do a quick touch-up on that thing. You can't tell me they can't, for $56 million, they can't, make that thing like brand new. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like when it's done. As for the Unisphere, the Unisphere is never disappointing. That, again, was part of the World's Fair in 1964, and it was originally designed to be built of aluminum, but the USS United States Steel Company, they pitched in, and they had 700,000 pounds of stainless steel, and it's huge, and I've never seen anybody that looked at that and wasn't impressed. And it is probably the most photographed item anywhere in Queens. It's just, you cannot take a bad picture of it. It's like Switzerland. You can't take a bad picture of Switzerland. There's no slums in Switzerland. But everybody loves that thing. And this is a kind of a rare shot because you don't usually see it when it's not lit up somehow. They usually have lights around it. It's always lit up. And this was kind of a rare sighting to see it not lit up. So what do you think about that? Next up, I recently paid a visit to the Vintage Radio and Communications Museum in beautiful Windsor, Connecticut. And it's an interesting museum. It's got a lot of cool stuff that I like, old vintage radios, things like that. And I just thought I'd take you along real quick. It's a few minutes long, just to get an idea what it looks like inside in case you ever might want to be in the area to check it out. It's a very cool museum with all kinds of interesting vintage stuff. Check it out. Here's something really interesting. This Crossley refrigerator actually had a radio in the top half. There was no freezer in that top half. That was all a radio. So you had a refrigerator and a radio, two major appliances in one. Look at that, a WD40 can radio. Have you ever seen this many Zenith transoceanic radios in one place, especially in mint condition like these are? I love these radios. Now you know you're getting old when some of your personal computers that you used to own is in a museum. I still have one or two of these floating around the house because I don't want to get rid of them with the information that still might be on them. There's a bunch of guys that collect old television sets and repair them. They're really interesting. And if you notice, the early ones were so small they had magnifying glasses in front of it to make the screen bigger. But this one here was a very interesting set because the whole tube was encapsulated in a little container that you could move around, and it had a cable connected to the TV.
Look, he put this whole thing up. This is called, look on YouTube, called Step by Step. This is called
How cool is this lifeboat radio? It's got its own generator and everything. That was just awesome. Look at all the lights and knobs and dials.
he sent me a telephone school for 3 days now in New York because we had these telephone switches in hotels. And I didn't work on a lot of them, but you had to go to school down there and get certified so you understand how phone companies' equipment work. You had to get signed off on it.
Is this exactly what is like the setup that
Yeah.
looked like back then? Like with all the stuff stacked on top of each other?
You would have racks of these as far as you can see. It's on YouTube. It's called Step by Step. And it shows it's in the 1930s when they put these in. It shows them trying to talk these old men into getting a dial phone. It's like trying to get my father.
One of my favorite exhibits at this museum, this soundproof phone booth was actually in production. And once you step inside, you can't hear anything. And the way it's designed, it was very interesting and really worked well. Some of you old timers will recognize the old crystal radio and the cat whiskers, and you had to tune in the stations. They have a couple operating crystal radios that are operating 24/7 there that you could listen in to stations that are nearby. Very interesting.
The last exchange we had was the last. There was a few we had to watch out for.
Okay, so you can see that museum is really interesting. A lot of great stuff. They got some great videos on YouTube of the guided tour. I just went around there because I went to a swap meet, wacky swap meet. I've never seen a swap meet like it before, but the museum was very interesting. And of course, there was something in there that I wanted and I had to pick up. Let me show you. Nice show and tell. Let's get to that right now. Okay, when I was watching an old video of that museum, I saw that they had one of these WD40 can radios. I said, I gotta have one of those. So I went on eBay, of course, and I picked one up. Now, this one here is in the case, okay? And anytime you have something that's in the case, you don't want to take it out of the case because it's a collectible and it's already almost 25 years old. Remember, this is the 75th anniversary. We're coming up to the 100th anniversary. And so you want to kind of keep this intact without, you know, ripping off, and just like it is, it's going to be worth a lot more. But obviously, for the channel, we really don't care about that here. So we're going to open this up for the first time. You will see, open this up, like Reggie would say, live and at the scene. And you'll get to see what this 75th anniversary, 1925 to 2000 WD-40, what this was like. And here it is. It's a can of WD-40 here. Okay, Canada, who doesn't like WD-40? And what I wanted, the radio. Yeah, look at that. Nice radio here. There's, you know, these, they range in price on eBay, depending on the condition they're in. But what do you say we put some batteries in and see how this works? Does this cap, no, the cap don't come off. The battery compartment does open up here. And I got some AA batteries. Let's see if it fires up. Okay, we put 2 AA batteries in. Let's slide the volume switch up.
You can be that way, right?
There we go.
That can be a deciding factor.
This is,
and I say this,
we have this on
really
AM.
and Hurst like jacked of that too. In 3 years. And George Jones, we've been working.
Sounds like it has a good radio. It has an antenna here that you can pull up. And we have FM too. FM. Interesting. Wanted one as soon as I saw it. Now I have it. I'm going to put upstairs. But again, I don't let anything like value determine my enjoyment of an item. A lot of people wouldn't have opened it saying, what am I going to do? The value, I don't care if the thing isn't worth anything anymore. It's meant to be enjoyed, right? What do you think of that? WD-40 radio. I know Reggie on the road, he's a big fan, WD-40. So what do you think of that? Okay, so in closing, a lot of stuff to take in today. How'd you like that WD-40 radio? Pretty interesting, huh? Cool stuff. I love advertising when they used to put radios. There's a Champion spark plug I've been trying to get. That stuff is, it's expensive, you know. So you got to find it in decent condition, but not too expensive. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. We'll see you again on Friday. Take care now. Bye-bye.